my first YouTube video. I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do for my first YouTube video, and today we're gonna do a reading vlog because on this channel we're gonna talk about books and mental health. But yeah, today we're gonna do a reading vlog. I'm gonna read Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm on page 77 and so far I'm really liking it. Our main character Hannah feels like she's never really had a home because she's been moving around a lot, and then she comes back to LA, which is her childhood home, and meets her first love again. And we follow these two separate timelines of what would have happened if she went home with her childhood love that night or if she didn't. I really think this concept is kind of cool, like following these two separate timelines and seeing how life would have turned out in so many different ways. But so far I'm really liking it. A little because I was freezing. It's currently 5 p.m. and I think I'm gonna read for like 45 minutes. I'm having a little trouble connecting, like fully connecting to the characters. I can't really recall like what exactly has happened in which storyline. Like the two storylines get a little bit confusing sometimes, and yeah, maybe that's the reason I'm not fully connecting to the story yet. Let's do a little update. I'm currently on page 190. I'm still struggling with the connection to the characters. It's not my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid story so far, and it's really hard for me to motivate myself to read on. As you've seen, I've also finished The Hunger Games the other day, and oh my gosh, Like, I've never read The Hunger Games before. I've only seen the movies when I was younger. I didn't read much at the time. I never got around to reading the books because I usually don't read books when I've seen the movie because it feels weird in my head. I'm getting bored of the book. Like, I'm not knowing the story already and it's not as exciting to me. I haven't seen The Hunger Games in a while. Reading the book was like a combination of watching the movie in my head but also reading the story for itself and having like my own imagination play a part in it. Maybe from now on I'll do it more often. Read the book after I've seen the movie already. Usually I prefer it the other way around because you have like this image in your head and then you're seeing it played out in real life. There's nothing better in my opinion. I'm really excited to start Catching Fire. I will also listen to this on audiobook. I'm always reading one book physically and I'm always reading one audiobook. It does really wonders for my reading because usually I take very long for books, but I'm also struggling with slow reading because I have ADHD. Yeah, my concentration isn't always on point. I feel like there are so many booktubers and book content creators who read like 100, 120 books a year or like 200, 300. Like, I've seen crazy numbers like that and I'm always like, how do you do this? And I wish I could do it as well, but also we're all reading in different speeds and it's totally okay. You're still a reader if you don't read fast. Live the day before yesterday. I finished it yesterday. I've had extreme cramps yesterday, so I didn't film yesterday because I was just lying in bed and trying to survive, to be honest. Unfortunately, I didn't really enjoy Maybe in Another Life, which is really sad because I usually love Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, but it's also a very old book of hers. Let's start off with the positive. I really enjoyed Gabby and Hannah's friendship. I found it really cute. I really enjoyed the love story and the concept of the two different timelines, but for some reason it just didn't quite work out for me. The whole story is set in Los Angeles and I felt like there weren't really like description of Los Angeles. Like, I didn't really feel like I was in Los Angeles reading this book. I really was missing that. I just felt like there could have been more descriptions of the sun, of the heat, of the houses, of like the general atmosphere. The whole vibe of the story was just missing in my opinion. And like the whole story felt very generic because it was so focused on like marrying, having children, and I felt like there could have been some different outcomes. Even the side characters had exactly this life concept. I felt like that was so like exactly what society tells us to do and tells us to have as like this life goal. It's just not for everyone in my opinion. Like, there are so many different ways to live and so many different outcomes to be happy, and the story basically said that you can only be happy if you have a family. I really didn't like that. I really didn't enjoy that because yeah, Taylor Jenkins Reid's other stories are so different, and I feel like with, for example, like with Daisy Jones and the Six, they're all having a different concept of happiness, they're all having a different concept of what it feels like to be fulfilled. It's actually the worst book I've read this year so far. And I'm usually very easy to please, to be honest. Of course, not every book is going to be my favorite book, but usually I can take something from every story, and I usually pick stories that are in some way right for me, but this one just kind of wasn't, which is why I've rated it at 2.5 stars. I'm very sad to say this because like Taylor Jenkins Reid is usually an author author for me, and I wish my first reading vlog would have turned out a little bit different, to be honest. That's just how it is, I guess. But I really did enjoy the Hunger Games. Rated this one actually 5 stars, even if I've seen the movie like ages ago. It still felt like a really fresh story to me, but also very familiar, which is kind of why I enjoyed it this much. But yeah, this is it for this reading vlog, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!